Let's wrap up day one of this 2024 MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament. And we got a battle for the Hoosier State. Indianapolis Nike RBI and Gary Nike RBI, as both these teams get set for their second game of pool play today. Let's take a look at what the schedule and the results have been so far. Here from Curtis Granderson Stadium, we started bright and early in the morning with White Sox Nike RBI defeating the Cubs Nike RBI side. Kansas City's 1-1 with a win over Gary, but then Indianapolis, you're about to see in a couple of moments, absolutely dominated them, 12-0 through just 4 innings of play. Hi everyone, welcome inside the broadcast booth. He's James Winkett, I'm Kevin Malater. Thanks for stopping by. And James, we'll start with this Indy team. We called them the dark horse before our last broadcast against Kansas City. And they might not be the dark horse, they might be the powerhouse at this rate.
Yeah, they definitely are looking to be that powerhouse. I mean, all of the bats were just alive off of that one. This upcoming game is going to be difficult for Gary, especially coming off of that loss to the Royals, and hopefully not getting run ruled. So pitching is going to play a big perspective within Gary's defense, but we'll see how both teams match up here.
We saw Gary earlier today. I know obviously they lost by a fair chunk of runs there in the end. Was there anything that you liked, though, that was a positive takeaway that they could have for this game tonight?
Yeah, I want to say that their positive takeaway was definitely that first inning. If they're able to build off of that first inning of play and not see themselves go into that that hole that they kind of dug themselves into, that's what they're going to have to make sure of. So definitely that first inning of play, we're hitting decently well, taking a lot of pitches, and also lots of pitching that was really well in that first inning. If they're able to make it that first inning, that whole ball game, they could be in the driver's seat today.
We're ready to go. First time these two teams will meet in a regional tournament. Indianapolis and Gary, two teams from Indiana, getting set to go to battle in Chicago right after this. we welcome you back to Curtis Granderson Stadium. We're ready for baseball as Ellis Gorham digs in, and the first pitch of the game is taken for a strike. Carson Griggs, the right-handed pitcher for Indy Nike RBI. In the rare and tough back-to-back portions of this tournament, some teams get the short end of the stick. However, Indy probably got the better leg of it, because if you're going to have the back-to-back, at least it's the back-to-back at night rather than the morning, so you can rest up most of the day.
Yeah, definitely having the back-to-back late at night is going to be beneficial, and also for Indy having that back-to-back and having a good portion of that where you rest up very quickly as you just demolished a team before you. That will definitely suit them well up against Gary.
Gary Nike RBI fell earlier today by a score of 12-3 to Kansas City Royals. Nike RBI, a team Indy turned around and put up 12 in just 4 innings of work, and everyone went home early because the mercy rule. Well, Kansas City went home early because the mercy rule. Indy's still here, but they got some extra rest.
Yeah, Indy definitely has a little bit more extra rest, and we'll see how that pitching staff holds up now.
That one's downstairs, and it goes to 3-2. Gorham was the leadoff hitter. Went 1 for 3 in the game against Kansas City, which included a single in the third. He was pinch hit for in the 7th inning when the game got out of hand, and the coaching staff for Gary trying to get everyone involved and trying to get everyone some game activity, and so that way they can say they're a part. They were truly a part of this experience and got a chance to play. Here's the 3-2 downstairs, and Ellis Gorham works a leadoff walk to begin the game. So we talked in the open about starting off strong and on the right foot right now. It's a leadoff base runner here for Gary. The first inning against Kansas City was really well, and you and I sat there during that game and we're talking like, hey, they're hanging in. You know, sometimes the pressure of this moment will get to a team, and especially early on, and it didn't for them in the first couple innings.
Yeah, for the first couple of innings, Gary was able to hold on in and keep up with the fight against Kansas City. As the game kind of rolled on over, though, they were put up against the walls and unfortunately left them losing 12-2 in that deficit. But with Gary, Indiana, they have realized with that first game, it's definitely a learning experience, especially being in a tournament that you're not very much used to. Indianapolis, on the other hand, has been in this tournament a number of times, so they're going to be in that driver's seat for a little bit longer than Gary is at this moment in time.
Meanwhile, 2 balls and no strikes to Nate George Jr. He's in left field for the second game of the day for the team from Northwest Indiana. George reached base a couple of times actually in the first game. A walk and a fielder's choice. Runner on the move. It's a strike on the pitch. Throw down from Mendoza is not in time. Great jump from Gorham, and he gets a stolen base.
Really great jump from Gorham there. He's able to just securely stay in at second base. Yeah, great tag by the shortstop. Ball just doesn't quite get in there in time. Gorham able to sneak on in to second.
That's Colin Gooley at short there for Indy. 2-1. George lays off the high heat, and he's up 3 balls and a strike.
And Kevin, we were talking about the pitching staff. That first game that we saw from Indianapolis, they're very much on par. This seeming to be a whole different story, though, even though it's first inning.
3-1. And off the hands, and it's fouled off. Gary in their earlier game against Kansas City. 3 runs on just 2 hits. Nobody. 3-2 home. Outside, and the first 2 men have reached via a walk for Gary.
What I like about this is that Gary is definitely taking a lot more walks. A lot of the players are being very selective with their pitches, as they should be, and trying to make sure that if it's there, it's there. They've been battling the first 2 batters, now both up and on base through walks.
Here's Emmanuel Smith now, the hitter. Inside for a ball. He's the pick to click. We talked about earlier how he's recently received a scholarship to Southern University, according to Nate George, the youth advocate for Gary Nike RBI. And he lines this one to the opposite field for a base hit. They're going to wave through the runner and a late stop sign there, and it's a wise one. The throw from seats and left field was perfect. So now they're loaded here with no one out. And now time is called as Gorham is slow to get up there at third. He kind of stumbled going back to the bag there.
Yeah, it took a little bit of a funky slide on the way back. We hope that he's okay, just walking it out a little bit.
Yeah, it's tough, obviously. A lot of these guys are wearing turf shoes or molded cleats, and sometimes the molded cleats can get caught in a slit of field turf, and that can do some damage. We've seen that a lot at the NFL.
Yeah, definitely with the turf fields, you have a lot of damage done there. It's with that non-contact, it's a little bit controversial if you want to use that turf field or want to use more so of that dirt and more of the grass instead.
So now with the bases loaded, RVF Ford. He's playing first base. Downstairs, and it's 1 ball and no strike, 2 balls and no strikes, excuse me. This is the biggest threat Gary's put on offensively with the bases full and no one out.
Yeah, it's a new chapter in this book that we see in the pool play that Gary, Indiana's RBI team, has shown off to us. Bases loaded, this is definitely the biggest threat that they have shown to us this whole tournament play.
And with nowhere to put Ford, it's 3 balls and no strikes, and the base is full and still nobody out. Griggs needs a strike here. And that one's ball 4. Gary will lead for the first time in program history at a regional as a bases loaded walk to RVF Ford drives in the game's first run.
And mound visit is definitely needed here as Griggs has not been able to have much control in his ball. That's his 3rd walk of the day. 1 hit as well, so hopefully he's able to get out of that funk as quickly as possible.
They're one of the assistant coaches for Indianapolis Nike RBI. 1-0 on the day against an 0-1 team. And Gary, who was trying to get their first run in regional program history.
Yeah, with Gary scoring 3 that last game, 2 of them were unearned and off of errors. We want to hope that Gary is able to actually get some hits in this upcoming game.
David Pineda is the batter, and he lays off that one. However, I feel like if you're Gary, you'll take the walks right now too. I mean, that's
very true.
Just as productive as a base hit or, you know, reaching on an error at this point. And when you're trying to get some runs against a team that is so far plus 12 after 1 game. He fouls it off himself.
Yeah, it also revs up the pitch count and also in general makes the players stay out there longer, waiting for a ball to be in play. That ball to be in play, it can cause some people to be a little bit disrupted with it not being in play as for so long.
Popped him up. Infield fly rule in effect. All 3 guys bang into each other. And now he's out there on third on the back pick. So that's a double play. And by the way, I might add also that according to the lineups we were given, that was Pineda who was supposed to hit, but Angel De La Sera went and hit in his place.
Yeah, so a lot of changing things there. I mean, with the lineup, but then also in that infield, you have 3 guys coming in at 1 pop fly infield rule already, so the batter is out. And then you get the guy at third miraculously as all 3 fall simultaneously together.
So now here's Pineda, and he lifts this one in the air, left center field, drifting over Rincha Kirakov, and he's got it in the alleyway to end the inning. We've played half an inning. Gary strikes first. 1-0 for the Nike RBI team from Northwest Indiana here on WCSN 2. Home half of the first, 1-0 as Angel Segura is the pitcher. And 0-1's lined in the left field for a base hit. Micah Rinchak Kirakov, the home run derby champion, wanting to stretch it to a double, and he does.
Some heads-up baseball right there by Micah. He's able to get a good knock and then able to get his way to second already with his speediness.
So now a leadoff double, which sees Cam Seats come on up. Seats is playing left field today for Indy. In game 1, he went 1 for 3, scored 2 runs, reached on air, and reached via single as well. Segura, a long hold. Here's the first offering. Slow breaking ball misses high for a 1-0 count. Downstairs, and it goes to 2 balls and no strikes.
Seed's taking his time, of course. He's really good at just making sure that the pitch is going to be his. He doesn't really swing at too many balls outside of that zone.
He'll step off here. Three-0 is the count with no one out. There's the get me over strike right there. Fastball down the middle. That's ball 4. So the first 2 men have reached base here for Indy. Very similar start to last time, except it was 2 errors against Kansas City. It's a double and a walk here against Gary.
Yeah, definitely same scenario with 2 on. First 2, of course. The difference being that there were errors in those first 2 at-bats with Kansas City versus it being with Gary.
Runner on the move for third, throw down at third, and Rinstra Kirikov beats it out. And Seats follows up at second base as they execute the double steal to perfection.
Rinstra Kirikov just displaying again that speediness that he always has. Moving up another 90 feet to the bases.
Grounded it back up the middle. Diving stop by Scott. Gets up. The throw to first is in time to get him. It does drive in a run, so DJ Mendez gets himself an RBI. Ground up, but the game is tied at 1 apiece.
Mendez gets a good piece on the ball. Great defense by a second baseman there. He's able to make a diving stop and hold up for it to be only 1 run instead of 2.
So now here comes Will Jacobs. He hit a 2-run home run against Gary.
Yeah.
Or against Kansas City, I should say. Looks to do more of the same here against Gary. And he wanted it, and he just got underneath it and skies it in a short left center. Long run for Smith. Loses the cap, makes the catch. Runner tags, coming to the plate. The throw is up line. That's a sacrifice fly for Will Jacobs, and Indy has the lead. It's 2-1.
Yeah, and Indy just like that. They're swinging the bats, being very aggressive as always. And Will Jacobs, unfortunately, is not able to get what he has been getting, as most times gets a bit under that baseball, causes a sac fly. Still gets that RBI, though.
And meanwhile, all the way out there, Nate George Jr. in left field is down right now. He's in pain and he's not getting up right now. And members of the coaching and staff is going to go out there, as well as one of the athletic trainers from UIC here as well. And he's lifting up his leg and his eyes back in some pain. So while he gets some medical attention, we'll step aside here on the Windy City Sports Network. Welcome back. George Jr. was helped off with coaching staff and the trainers, so there's a new left fielder into the game. We'll get some information on you about him whenever we can get it. As Calms grounds that one weakly to third. Sweezer has it go in and out of his mitt.
Yeah, Sweezer charging the ball right there. He's able to corral it, but it just pops right out of his mitt at the last second, allowing for Indianapolis to get another runner on first.
Actually, I beg your pardon. That's actually Ford there at third.
Excuse me.
Sweezer's at first on the infield single. 2-1 the score, 2 outs here in the inning. As time is called on the balk. So Calms advances to second on a balk as Colin Gooley comes on up. The shortstop today in the second game played shortened first game against KC. Here's the 1-0. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. Gooley, 1 for 2 showing against the Royals Nike RBI team about a little bit ago. As the runner goes, pitch is flowing in a short left center, and a diving catch. No, it came out at the last moment. Oh my! Great hustle out there in left field. And it ends up being an RBI double for Gooley. And it's 3-1 Indy.
There's some really great hustle out there by the left fielder. What we all thought was a catch, unfortunately, just pops out at the last second. Gooley is able to get himself aboard on second base and get another RBI for Indy. They're now up 3-1.
I believe that's Darian Wiggins out there in left field right now for Indy.
If you guys were keeping track, Wiggins had a decent outing throw-in for Gary earlier today. Of course, he threw the last few innings of the matchup between them and Kansas City today.
And now they have the runner hung up here. They will throw to third, and they'll get him. Nice job there. Segura connecting with Ford at third as they get Gooley caught up in the rundown. We're through 1. Indy with a crooked number. They're on top 3-1 here on the Windy City Sports Network. Top of the second inning. Welcome back to Curtis Granderson Stadium. I'm Gavin. He's James. We've been here all day. Happy to be here with you all. Game 4 of 4 as Griggs misses high with a fastball to Ahmad Sweezer, the first baseman for Gary, Indiana. Second ever game in an RBI regional tournament. This is their debut year. A trip for them that has been 7 years in the making. The lineup, here's the 1-0. Sweezer lays off a fastball that bounces in, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to the hitter's favor. 3 runs this for Indy in the last half of the first, in which they scored 3 runs on 3 hits, and no one was left on base. No errors committed by Gary defenders either. Sweezer lays off a fastball. They won't even ask for the appeal, and it's 3 balls to no strikes.
Yeah, and that's one thing, Kevin, that you bring up about errors. Gary had a lot of errors within that Kansas City game that needed to be subtracted in this game, and they've done a decent amount of that. Indy, though, has been hitting the ball a lot all over the place, so that's something that they now have to eliminate.
And for the second straight inning, Gary has the leadoff man aboard. Let's see what comes of that. They were able to get the leadoff man aboard and later scored him in the frame. They had an opportunity with the bases loaded and were only able to get 1 out of it, though.
Yeah, I mean, 1 is definitely better than nothing, but with the bases loaded, you should have more than that. I mean, it is baseball, though. That's everything that happens. Things happen in weird ways in baseball, and be aware of expecting the unexpected.
So for runner on base, here's Angel Segura. He's the pitcher. He lines this one down the right field line, hooking, and it's a foul ball. He missed extra bases by about 1.5 feet out there.
Yeah, just about by 1.5 feet. It hooks just a little bit too much. And if it stays fair, that's definitely some extra bases out there. It would probably be one of their first hits of the day.
They had got just 1 hit in that first inning when they loaded the bases up. Griggs really struggled with his command in that one.
Yeah, Griggs is he's had a little bit of struggling with his command this first couple of innings. I mean, the first one definitely walking a lot, and this one he walks 1 already.
1-1 count here. No one gone here for the pitcher-to-pitcher battle. Here's the pitch. Downstairs, a snap throw back to first, and it caroms up the right field line. Sweezer with the heads-up play, though, just holding at first. Great job by Combs in right field to back up the play, and it really saved Sweezer from having to go to second base.
Yeah, Combs is able to just secure that baseball, make sure that it doesn't roll all the way to the wall out in the outfield. And Sweezer heads up, looking at the baseball first, making sure that he's able to securely stay at first and possibly go into second. Smart move, though, to stay at first.
Heads up base running, great coaching as well by the first base coach, telling him right away, hold it, don't go. Because I think he saw what we all saw, which was Sweezer would have been dead to rights at second because of the great play by Combs out there in right field.
Yeah, with the great play there and then a great arm, he would have been just completely chased out, and that would have been unfortunate with him being the first batter up and already on base.
Full count, runner on the move. Pitch is popped up and out of play.
Some good ricochet off from the baseball into the seats.
Three and two again. Swing a fly ball, shallow right field. Combs nearing the foul line makes the catch for the out.
Yeah, Combs getting some action out there. First of all, he goes on and backs up that missed throw, and then after that catches the ball for the first out in this top half of the second.
So Zane Scott, the second baseman, comes on up. First go around for him in this contest. 1 for 3 showing, reached on an error, had a single as well, and scored a run as they check down the runner, and Sweezer's back in there with a dive. Griggs having to work a lot harder for his outs than his two teammates in their game against Kansas City. The Royals Nike RBI team got just 1 hit in that outing, and it was a leadoff single on the second. Only 2 men reached base for KCR in that one. 1-0 in there for a strike on a fastball.
Yeah, I mean, Griggs' command has been a little bit iffy as we see these first 2 innings versus his other players with him. He's definitely struggling here.
Runner on the move, pitches away for a ball, throw down to seconds in time, tag out. Great throw from Mendoza as he connects with Hunt, the second baseman, for the second out of the second inning.
And I've been trying to give nicknames to a lot of these athletes out here. I think Mendoza the Hosa is a pretty good nickname for that one right there. He's able to just hose out right there.
So Sweezer is retired. No one aboard and 2 out now for Scott. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled back and the count evens out. So second straight inning, which the leadoff man's reached base for Gary, but right now they're gonna have to manufacture a 2-out run here if they wanna keep this thing within 2 or possibly get to 1. Now the windup, Griggs 2-2 home. Nice job by Scott to stay alive, fouls that one off.
Yeah, Scott is able to just have some good contact on the ball, make sure that he's still alive in this count.
Gary tomorrow has the White Sox and Twins awaiting them. And that one is in there for a called strike, and that will end the frame. So an unconventional 3-up, 3-down inning for Carson Griggs. Home half of the second, up next on WCSN2. Last of the second here from Curtis Granderson. 7-8-9 due up for Indy Nike RBI as Carter Hunt takes strike 1. So far the team from Indianapolis, 3 runs on 3 hits without an error.
Indy just keeps on rolling, and we hope that Carter Hunt is able to keep that going for them.
So their for a strike, 0-2 on the cut and a miss there. Ground ball back up the middle. A sliding backhanded try by Scott. And he's unable to get it cleanly, so it's a leadoff single there for Carter Hunt.
Yeah, Scott's been doing some really good movement with his body. He's able to make sure that that ball doesn't go into the outfield. The one thing that he just has to do now is make sure that he's able to secure it, throw it to first. He's able to make sure of that stoppage. It's kind of like you have that leaky faucet. You have a little bit of duct tape, but now you need to get a bit more, secure it, get the job finished.
Leaky faucet.
Yeah. You know, I'm trying to do some new analogies.
I like it.
Trying to figure it out.
I like it. Here's Brian Lockhart as a balk is called. So Hunt's the second there. Lockhart's the DH after catching game 1 for Indianapolis earlier this afternoon against Kansas City.
And seems to be lots of chickens on the mound the way that they're balking right now. So.
Father's Day was a couple weeks ago, man.
Yeah, you know, I got to air out most of my dad jokes now on air. So it's
oh man, that was a rough one.
There's a lot of them. That was a good dad joke though, I will say.
Oh man.
If there was an encyclopedia for dad jokes, I think I kind of go up there as being one to compete for that role. I got 2 already. Let me see if I could put in a 3rd one.
That one hits him square in the numbers, and it's hit by a pitch for Lockhart. So what is in the dad joke encyclopedia here that you're referring to?
I don't know. It just kind of comes like randomly. I mean, like there's a lot.
But clearly, you don't have to be a dad to acquire one.
No.
Obviously yourself are not
it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of just like fishy, like, or not a lot of like cheesy one-liners that I've just like pops out of my brain. It's I don't know. I like just saying just randomly. It catches people off guard, definitely.
Here's Jorge Mendoza, as James approximately called him the hoser for his great throw. He drops the butt down, his only place to first. So a successful sacrifice, both runners advance. And there's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, good bunt just to advance the runners right there. Didn't have to do too much fanciness with it. Just pushes it off just straight to the pitcher. And now you have both players in running in scoring position.
So now the top fielder comes back up, and Micah Rinchra-Kirakov doubled and scored his last time up back in inning number 1. That one misses away.
Now, with him being the home run derby champion, you would assume that he was be the first to hit a home run, but it's been his teammates to hit. There's been 2 actually. By 2 separate teammates.
That's a wild pitch. Runner coming home, safe there. As Hunt crosses, and it's 4-1 Indy.
Some great heads-up base running by Hunt as always. Love to see it.
A wild pitch that also saw Lockhart advance to the 3rd. 2 balls and no strike the count. Segura has not challenged the strike zone in this AB. That one way outside away as well. It's 3-0.
I mean, as a pitcher and seeing him, what he can do in that home run derby, you're kind of thinking to yourself, maybe a walk is a better answer than seeing my ball go all the way over the fences.
Up inside, and that's a 4-pitch walk to the home run derby champ. And so now Cam Seats will come on up. The opportunity for him with the runners on the corners and only 1 gone. Seats lone trip up an inning ago resulted in a walk and a run scored. So officially 0 for 0.
Good old 0 for 0 straight. We kind of love those because it just makes you realize that you just have 4 pitches that you've seen, same pitcher, and now you realize what they've thrown, what they haven't. And you're able to feel that for yourself and get a pitch that you really like in this next at bat.
We're on the move for second. Pitches downstairs. They'll back pick him at third, and he's safe there. Ranger Kirikov swipes second. Smart play there, though, by De La Cerda behind the dish.
Yeah, some really great catching by De La Cerda there. He's able to just realize, hey, that second base is going to be occupied no matter what. Why don't I just pick throw it?
In the air off the end of the bat, drifting out there's Pineda. The shortstop makes the catch. Faking the tag was Lockhart, but it'll be held at third, and there's two gone.
A little bit of a stutter there by Lockhart. I love the movement there as it keeps the infielders on their toes.
Always got to be ready.
Yeah. Definitely always have to be ready in that infield. Lots of communication, of course, in that hot corner area.
2 away for DJ Mendez. Last game of the day on the tournament. Here from Curtis Granderson Stadium on the baseball side in the senior division today. White Sox Nike RBI 2-0 once again. We saw them earlier defeat the Cubs this morning to kick off the tournament. Yes, there's a strike there. Meanwhile, the Cubs Nike RBI team dropped their second game of the tournament to the Twins Nike RBI team 4-2. So the Twins get back to 1-1 after getting thumped by Milwaukee in game 1. White Sox ran around and beat Milwaukee by 6 runs in their first game of the tournament. So that's going to be fun to dissect all that information once this game goes final, to see where everyone stacks up. Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. Lockhart in the score. Ranger Kirikov right behind him. 2 RBI single for DJ Mendez. He's got 3 RBIs in this one. And Indy RBI is beginning to bust this one open. It's 6-1.
Yeah, some really great contact there by DJ. He's able to just nonchalantly hit that ball right into the gap there and drive 2 in, making him have 3 RBIs on the day already in this game.
So now here comes Will Jacobs, runner on the move, pitches away, throw down to second, offline.
What I love about this Indianapolis team is that they're able to not just be hot with the bats, but also on the base paths. They have such good baseball IQ.
They really do. They steal bags, but they do them smartly. Steps off. There's the disengagement there. Segura gets charged for 1. 6-1. The score. Base hit left field. Around third comes Mendez. John Box is going to wave him around. The throw to the plate is cut off. The throw will then go to second base, and in there with a slide is Jacobs. Give him an RBI single. And it's 7-1 as he'll advance to second on the throw to the plate. Nice piece of hitting there as Will Jacobs has his second RBI of the game as well.
Yeah, it's a play that you see, and it's kind of like a meet me, match me, as you get the person at second all the way home, and you get the double there.
So J.J. Combs will now stand on in. This offense is rolling right now. Combs singled and scored in the first. Caught on a miss for a strike. 2 outs still here in the bottom of the second.
JJ looked like he was about to demolish that baseball.
One. Outside corner, just missed. We're on the move, and that one hits him. And Combs is aboard with a hit by pitch. And so the 9th man to come to the play this inning will be Colin Gooley.
Yeah, with Gooley up at the plate, I mean, Indy just keeps rolling more and more as this game keeps going on.
In the air, right field, heading towards the foul line is Gorham, and it lands in foul ground.
Looked like just half a foot of room between fair and foul territory. Gulick looks to have another hit.
Doubled his last time up. Both runners on the move as the 1-1 is inside. Throw down to third. Not in time, and Jacobs just kind of started strolling in there.
Yeah, he started strolling in. I'm not too sure if he thought he was going to be gunned out or what specifically had happened on that transition from second to third. I think he just kind of slowed up there, making sure that he was in standing up, of course. With the throw also kind of dying down by the catcher there, it seemed reasonable for him to just kind of walk on in and stroll to third.
Is there a possibility he thought that was ball 4?
I could see that as a possibility with him strolling in so slowly to that bag.
Meanwhile, it's a hitter's count here to Cooley, the shortstop, who's already 1 for 1. Oh, what a catch! Pineda taking away a base hit and saving a couple of runs for Gary Nike RBI. That's a web gem to end the inning. And we have played 2 at 7-1 Indianapolis Nike RBI. Welcome back. 2-2 pitch flown into right field and caught out there by Combs. That was Gorham, who represents the top of the order, who's down there for the out. Top due up here for Gary. And now we will see the return of Nate George Jr. after having to be subbed out earlier with a leg injury. He's back now, hitting for himself here in the top of the third inning. So great sign to see.
Yeah, definitely a great sign to see. We're glad that he's okay. Looked like there was maybe some immediate cramping out in left or a little bit of a tweakage, but we're definitely glad to see that he's okay and swinging for himself.
Ball one to the left fielder. Kirikov shifts to the left and left center as that ball's lined to the pull side, and it's caught out there by Combs, 2 down.
Yeah, Combs just getting some work out there. That's the second ball placed right into his mitt this inning.
They had it overshift to the opposite field with the center fielder playing pretty much in left center. It's Richard Kirikov as George ended up pulling the baseball.
Yeah.
So 2 away, here's Emmanuel Smith, who has the lone hit in this ball game for Gary Nike RBI. Down the stairs as it bounced in there. Low 1-0. Hitters count now.
Yeah, George is now in the hitter's count. I mean, you got the 2-0 count. 2 outs, of course, so you got to be protective a little bit, looking for that specific pitch that you love to hit, but wouldn't be surprised if he takes another.
2-0. 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, Griggs just, his pitch count just keeps climbing up the ladder as much as possible as he just keeps struggling with his command. Lots of balls he's been working with today.
Emmanuel Smith has already reached base 1 time and make it a second as he works a 4-pitch walk.
So with Griggs, I feel like he's been doing a lot of walking the batters, but the thing with him is it's not really deep counts, it's more so those 4-pitch walks that he keeps having.
RBI Ford will come on in. Worked a RBI walk his last time up. That one's downstairs for a ball.
Maybe Ford channeling a little bit of that energy from the cars of Ford, of course, that he might have, and maybe using that drive power to get a ball out into that outfield. Hopefully scoring a few runs here as the deficit continues to climb for Gary. Indy in front, 7-1, of course.
Popped up foul out of play.
That was some good contact by Ford right there. He's able to just get a piece of it. You know, with all these guys and their last names, it's very interesting. I mean, it's a lot of them. Ford definitely has a common last name. You got famous actors with that. Harrison Ford, of course, from Star Wars. And then you got, of course, the man who made the Ford, Henry Ford. It's very common last name. And there's a lot of them with it in baseball and athletics in general.
2-2 to count to RBI Ford. He's playing third base today. Runner on second, 2 outs. A 2-2 count. Runner on the move, the pitch. Fouled off. We'll do it again.
And he's just surviving out there, that 2-2 count. Really good contact by the kid.
Two away. The pitch called, strike 3, and that will do it. So that will end the inning, as the stolen base doesn't matter. We'll go to the last of the third. 7-1 the score on the Windy City Sports Network. Bottom 3, it's 7-1. Indianapolis on top. Kevin Malater, James Winkin here with you from Curtis Granderson Stadium. 7-8-9 due up, and it's Carter Hunt here for Indianapolis Nike RBI, the same 3 that led off the last half inning for Indy's offense. Back at it again, and it's a 1-1 count after that fastball finds the outside corner. Flared in a short left. George Jr. comes in to make a sliding catch.
Yeah, great catch by George Jr. there. He just dives down on his knees, makes sure that he's able to secure the baseball. And just like that, he's 1 out in this bottom of the third.
So Brian Lockhart, the DH, comes on up. Hit by pitch and a run scored his only time up. That came in inning number 2. Hit hard to the right side. Diving stop by Scott. Got back on up, and he makes the play. 2 up, 2 down here in the Indianapolis second. Nice job there. The defense flashing its leather in all places today.
Yeah, and Scott kind of bringing up that leaky faucet that I was talking about earlier. He becomes that plumber right there and is able to secure the baseball, throw it to first base. Just like that, easy 1-2 outs.
So here's Jorge Mendoza. It's popped up right side, drifting over and running out of room is Sweezer.
A good old hustle play by Sweezer, though. You gotta love it.
Here's the 0-1. Outside corner, and that one just missed. Fly ball, right center field, and caught. Smith out there. And that will end the inning, the first 3-up, 3-out inning of the game for Gary defensively. And we'll go to the top of the fourth right after this. Top of the fourth inning here. Cavalier, James Winkin. David Pineda up to bat here for Gary Nike RBI. Infield fly rule, his first time up back in inning number 1. That was his only at bat in this one.
Yeah, you had that infield fly rule called on him, and then 3 players all collided together, able to get an out at third base. If you guys remember, bases were loaded within that first inning, and Gary was able to put 1 on the board, but since then it's just been in the 0 column.
Strike 2 there to Pineda. Gary still 1 run on only 1 hit. That's pounced on the ground on the right side. Hunt bobbles it, and Pineda beats it out.
Pineda catches some luck there. He's able to make it the first as Hunt just bobbles the ball all the way to first base, unable to gradually secure the ball and toss it for the easy out.
It's an E4 as Angel De La Cerda will come on up. Lacerda flew out to center, his only time up, and he flies this ball in the air. Left field, Seeds backpedaling, makes the catch about 20 feet in front of the track for the first out at the 4th inning.
Yeah, Seeds does a little good job of just giving that back drop and then backpedaling all the way to the ball and securing it in for the first out of this inning.
So here's Ahmad Sweezer. Worked to walk his lone time up and was caught stealing at second.
Yeah, Sweezer has a really good eye. He's able to draw a lot of walks.
Strike there. Runner on first, only one out, top four. Indy leading 7-1. So they're out of the 2-0 without a run allowed competition. Mendoza's throw is in time, but somehow Pineda was able to get his foot in there and is safe at second.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a El Mahigo instance.
Yeah, really.
About Javi Baez type where he's able to just use a little bit of a stutter step and make way of getting into second, even though the throw by the catcher was right on time.
Curveball called, strike three, and there's two away.
That's what you love about breaking balls. It's just like the eye, they just decept the eye as much as possible. Lots of trickery with them and cause you to freeze up.
Angel Segura takes that one for a strike. 0-1 with two gone and the runner on second base. Nobody. Misses and it's 1-1. Segura flew out to right field. That's the first out back in inning number 2. Yes, he did on an awkward swing on a pitch in the dirt.
Yeah, he was chasing something that he really shouldn't have. It's just one of those pitches as a hitter you always kind of love to do some damage with. But in this instance, when you're down by so much, you got to be more so conservative with that.
Swing and a miss, strike three, but it gets away from the catcher. Mendoza, the throw to first. Got him. Mendoza shows off the cannon.
Mendoza
to complete the K.
Mendoza the hoser.
Still 7-1. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, Gavin Malater. Here with James Winkin. Indy still leads 7-1 as we go into the bottom of inning number 4. Top of the order here. Micah Kirikov grounds that one to third. Ford gobbles it up. Low throw, and it gets away. Heads up base running here, and it's going to lead to a double, or leadoff man on second, I should say. So an E5 with the advancement there. And Rinstra Kirikov is aboard.
Yeah, E5 right there. Unfortunate play by Ford. He's able to get the ball, but it just goes all the way onto the ground. No scoop play there, no pick play there, and Micah is able to securely get into second base.
So Cam Seats will come on up. Flies this one to the left side. Drifting over is Wiggins, and he makes the catch. Rinstra Kirikov thought about tagging, but he'll hold there.
A great catch by Wiggins there. He's able to firmly secure the baseball. Doesn't need to move too much, maybe just 2 to 3 feet at most, and still have Micah at second base.
So 1-ball count here with 1 out. And he'll step off. Mendez is the new hitter.
Sorry, I'm giving you the boot.
Right here. Feel free to sit if you want. And now we are pleased to be joined. We got a very special guest up here in the booth. We got Jenny Finch up here, softball legend. You're in town. Thanks so much for stopping by, hosting a softball clinic this weekend. And I just want to know, for you, why is it so important to help grow the game of softball and host these clinics and be a part of that?
It's my passion. I love it. I know what softball did for me and the opportunity it gave me, and what better than to be able to share that with others. And so I hope to inspire and encourage and share what I've learned through my experiences. And I love being on the field. So being able to be on the field with the future gamers of our sport, it's a dream.
And I know you were just across the way over at Flames Field right now. And what was that experience like for you to be able to have that opportunity to throw out a first pitch and be around a lot of talented young high school girls and young high school athletes over there and supporting the passion they have in playing for their cities as well?
It's incredible, especially, well, right now the White Sox-Cubs game is going on. So, like, what better game to be in and to be able to watch the rivalry right here of the hometown versus hometown. So it's great to be here, and it's just amazing to see the impact of these RBI leagues and the impact of Major League Baseball on not only baseball but softball as well. And so these young girls have access to the game and are living out their dreams, and this is the big stage. This is it. They're trying to earn a spot for the World Series. So the competition's high, and each year it just continues to get better and better.
There's a nice play over there at third base. And the game of softball is growing nationally, and rightfully so. It's such a fun sport to watch. There's so much talent across the board, especially the Women's College World Series. How have you seen the game grow and evolve from your time as a player to now where it is today?
It's incredible. I mean, I grew up not watching it, not seeing it, and now I think my 11-year-old, like, just insane. We walk into the Women's College World Series, and she thinks that 12,000 fans is normal, and it is normal, and that's just, it's wild. And so just to think how far we've come without even being able to see it, like, to know that my daughter and the next generation is seeing it and seeing women in the booth and women in the dugouts and women in the training room. And, you know, we didn't see that growing up. And so just now, man, like, anything is possible. And they're growing up thinking and seeing that they can do anything, where it's a dream, honestly, to see. And I hope we can just continue to push the needle and provide opportunity. And if you love the game, if you want to play it at that next level, you can. It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice, but you know, tap into your resources, and that's what Major League Baseball is doing with the RBI programs, is trying to give access to all, and kids the resources to fall in love with the game and to be able to push their game to the next level and be able to hopefully compete one day in college and get their education paid for.
You mentioned your daughter. You mentioned all the young women out there. How important do you think is it for them to have these role models nowadays? I know you said you didn't grow up watching softball. How important is it for you and for the next generation to have people like yourself and the superstar softball players that we see nowadays, to have someone to look up to?
Well, and I did watch it, but I had to go to the field to watch it, you know, where now, I mean, every weekend softball's on TV, which is so exciting. But it is, and especially now that I'm a mom, I realize the impact that you have as a role model. And, you know, nothing warms my heart more than seeing people reach out to my kid. And it's one thing to do something nice for you, but when you do something nice for my kid, it's like so grateful and appreciative, and you want good people pouring in to your kids and to them to be exposed to everything and to meet different people and hopefully pushed in the right direction and guided in the right direction. And so I love being able to share the field and seeing her go to our local college programs and even meeting my Olympic teammates and, you know, just the inspiration that they give them, not only on the field, but more importantly, even off the field.
Real quick before I let you go, because I know you have a busy schedule, biggest piece of advice you have to any young girls out there watching for the game of softball or for life in general that you have?
Be the best that you can be. I think especially social media, all of this is just comparing yourself to everything and everybody. And it's like, you were created to be you. Go be you. Don't be a second best somebody else. And so it's just, and you know, like, man, like the measure of success that we put on ourselves is usually compared to what's happening around us. And it's like, no, like you just get 1% better every day. Like you put in the work, you look yourself in the mirror and say, I gave it my all, like you've won and you're a winner. And so just keep pushing. And you know, our kids are late bloomers. We're big people, me and my husband. And so it's like the Lord's taught me just patience too. And like you gotta be you. And that's all we can do is just be the best version of ourselves. And that's what this world needs, their family needs. And whatever that looks like, you know, and we need the best people on the bench cheering, encouraging, and you never know when the roles are going to be reversed or when you're going to get that call. Be ready, take advantage of it, and tap into the resources around you, because there's so much. It's like you're going to find whatever you're looking for. So if you're looking for the negative, looking for, you know, what you aren't, you're going to find that. Like look at what you are and what strengths you do have and who is there to support you, and tap into that and go shine.
Thank you so much. You're a legend of the game. Thank you so much for taking time to talk with us. We really appreciate having Jenny Finch, everyone. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, Captain Malater. James Winkin rejoins me. James, welcome back.
Thank you.
Your takeaways on that bottom of the fourth inning.
Yeah, takeaway on that bottom of the fourth inning. You know, only one run scored from Indy, having the crooked numbers in that first and second inning. Of course, the defense has definitely been a good part for Gary in that last half of the inning that we saw. So we'll see how Gary's offense is able to hold up, as they only have still that one run hanging on the scoreboard.
So Rinstra Kirikov was the run that scored that frame. 8-1, Indy on top. Special thanks again to Jenny Finch for stopping by. Great conversation there about the importance of being a role model to young women everywhere, especially in the sports world. Really, really cool stuff. As Wiggins takes a strike. Laces that one to the left side for a base hit. First 2 men aboard here for Gary Nike RBI.
Some great contact there by Wiggins as he just pieces that ball into the gap a little bit and able to drive that out into the left field.
So now here's Nate George Jr. Opportunity here for him and this Indy team as he takes that one for a ball. And we talk a lot about, college softball and growing the game, and she told a great story about, her daughter going to Oklahoma City, and she thinks that 12,000 fans is the normal, and how cool that is for her. I mean, you go to one of these softball powerhouse schools, the University of Texas. I mean, that team has grown so much, and the campus seems to adore it from an outside perspective. Is that what it really is on the inside for sure?
Yeah, as an inside, as a student that goes to the University of Texas Austin, it's an amazing atmosphere. With women's sports, you have college basketball, you have their swim team. They're also just amazing at softball. Unfortunately, it came up a little short in this last World Series. But
hang on here, we got 2 guys hung up, and Scott's the lead man, and Scott's going to pay the price for retreating back to second base after Mendoza had a great block. Unfortunately, Wiggins didn't read that he wasn't going. So a stolen base there and a 2-5 put out.
Yeah, some miscommunication on the base pass. That's not what you want, especially when you have your Granderson on first and second. Now you got an out already. Kind of just kills the momentum that you're trying to have. Going back to talking about the University of Texas softball and just softball in general, it's grown so much, and I just love that the game has just grown as a whole. You see those 12,000 in the stands within, not just at the College World Series, but within these universities, like especially in the SEC, Oklahoma, Texas, Florida, Tennessee. There's some really big powerhouse schools within the college softball that you see a lot, and it's been such an amazing thing to see how much it grows.
By the way, I'd be remiss to not mention that J.J. Combs entered the game to pitch here before the top of this inning. Milburn with an inning of solid relief work. The pen for Indianapolis. So.
Yeah, with the out at the in the base pass now, J.J. Combs just looks to make his way on that bump and does just that with a strike right there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big second out there.
You know, the rakers be raking, but he is just combing them out right now.
Emmanuel Smith now up. 2 out, runner on second. Gary, trying to get another run back. That's a wild pitch, and the runner will go to third.
Some heads-up base running right there from Wiggins. That pitch just sails all the way to the backstop.
One out. Pops up left side out of play.
You know, Combs with his first inning in relief, he's had a few pitches out of the zone, of course, but his command is it's been a lot better than we've seen.
Oh, nasty sword there, and it's 1-2.
A lot of pitchers on that one kind of taunt them with this sword movement that we see a lot of. especially on the third strike. You'll see that.
To the right side and through. Emmanuel Smith has himself an RBI single, and it's 8-2.
Great piece of hitting by Emmanuel Smith right there. He's able to just get a piece right there and make himself available at first with a good old RBI.
So now that'll bring up RVA Ford. Takes a strike.
That was a really good fastball right there.
No more strikes.
You hear from the fans begging the pitcher to throw no more strikes.
Popped him up right side. Oh my. Somehow Jacobs caught it after succumbing to the turf monster. But that will end the inning. Gary gets a run back. 6-run advantage for Indianapolis. They're now 4 runs away from a victory offensively when we come back. Bottom of the 5th here from Curtis Granderson Stadium, and a pinch hitter, Jack Pine. Off the bench. He came off the bench as a defensive replacement in the bottom of the 4th in their win over Kansas City, and he rocks that one deep left field. That ball is foul.
What a rocket there. He's just a little bit off to the left-hand side, and it's ruled a foul ball, but I mean, just a good display by Pine and his power right there.
1-1 the count now. In there for a strike. Fly ball, right field, down the line. That's foul.
Now he does it the opposite way. Both times that he's made contact, both of them are down the lines, just a little bit foul. Hopefully he's able to now kind of, he's gone down the lines. Maybe he goes straight up the middle a little bit deeper.
One, two. Fouls it off. Segura's 1-2 again, down and away.
They must have just shut it down.
A great eye by Pines right there. Able to keep on living another day in this count.
But they got every right.
Underneath it and popped it up. And just the look of frustration. Oh, but he missed it. The look of frustration on Pine's face when he got into that one, thinking he would pop it out. But that's why the coaches always say you always got to run it out.
Yeah, always got to run it out there. Pines is able to just catch a major break as a hitter. That's one ball that you never want to hit or never want to see up in the air. And you have a lot of batters usually slam their bat or usually in the face of disgust. But was able to catch that break there.
Right. The boy's not.
So now the game one starter pitcher for Indianapolis is going to come in and pinch hit here. It's Weston Harvey.
And if you guys were following along with that first game, Weston Harvey had only 1 inning pitched, but that inning was
Struck out 3 of the 4 batters he faced. He walked a guy, but that was it. And also that walk came on 3 and 2. He was a pitch away from striking out the side in the first.
yeah, it was definitely a chef's kiss for a first inning.
Takes that one. It's just off the plate for a ball. That one's downstairs. One out. Popped him up. That's out of play. A young fan racing after it. I think he's going to go get it.
And he's got it.
Nice. Oh, he made a great throw as well.
That's a future 2035 prospect right there.
Could be on the RBI team someday.
Someday. Good old road to the show.
1 and 2. One of the great game modes out there in video game modes. Up there with another one I'll get to in a second as this is popped up. Here's Scott does for the out. Road to Show is one of the great ones. Dynasty mode is another really good one, and there's a new video game out today. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, definitely within the EA Sports college football that I'm pumped to get. Definitely have to wait on that a little bit from a financial standpoint as a college kid, but it will be a really good investment to grab off of the shelves. The gameplay in that one is pretty crazy how realistic it can be. It's you can DM players and lots.
I love how that's the first example of the detail you went with.
Lots of detail within the recruiting process. I mean, it's something that you wouldn't expect in a video game, but here it is. Now you have random recruits that you can talk to and just try and figure out that dynasty mode and that road to glory.
This is taken for a strike. By the way, there is a pinch hitter here for Indianapolis. His name is Dariel Caceres. And he lines that one to left center for a base hit. Caceres off the bench and onto the scoreboard. He makes it 9-2 with an RBI double.
Caceres, the dust off the bench. He's now off that shelf and placed into the batter's box and is able to get a hit right away. Really good piece of contact right there. He's able to get into second base.
9-2, Indianapolis on the precipice of double-digit runs in both games. On the ground, right side, gobbled up by Scott. Sharp throw to get him for the second out. As another pinch hitter was inserted there. That was Caden Taylor. Another arm we saw in game 1 for Indy.
Yeah, a lot of pinch hitters are being used right now by Milwaukee. They're kind of seeing that the door is really wide open for them, so they're trying to make sure that all of their players have at least one at-bat. As they kind of come to a close to pool play today. 9-2 game. Of course, you still have 2 innings, and baseball is baseball, but with the way things have gone, it's looking like it's Milwaukee's game, or Indy's game. Sorry about that.
So 9-2 is the score. Top of the order, and Micah Rienstra Kirakov comes back on up. No team in this tournament so far has double-digit runs in both of their games.
Yeah, and Indy is trying to be the out one to do that.
Inside for a ball. Good block by De La Cerda.
You know, with all the video games coming out, I think it's, and with the NIL deals, I think it might be time for maybe a baseball RBI game to come out.
Well, there is. I thought at one point there was a video game. There's a strike called RBI Baseball.
There was a video
but
game.
it's not
yeah,
about.
It's not about
the
these
Nike
kids.
RBI program. There is a Little League World Series video game. I know that.
Yeah.
That. I'm for it. Let's do it.
I mean, there's so many video games
Sign me
out
up.
there. You also, I forget the specific name of the game, but your classic character, his name is Pablo in it. It's where they're all playing in the, it's a baseball game where they're all playing in the backyard.
Oh, backyard baseball.
Yes.
3-1, ball 4. Rienstra Kirakov's aboard for the 4th time in 4th plate appearances.
Yeah, that's always a classic. I tend to see that one a lot on TikTok live. When people are
It was
streaming.
funny watching in the late 2010s when a lot of the players in that game began to retire, and then they were trying to figure out, all right, well, who's the last active guy still in this video game?
Yeah.
I believe it was Albert Pujols, I think is who it was. It was either Pujols, Molina was up there as well. Buster Posey. I don't know, Buster Posey was in the game. I beg your pardon. 2 outs. They're on the corners for seats. That one's away, and nearly they threw it away. Nice job, though, by Ford to keep that ball in front of him and protect the run from scoring.
Ford able to secure that baseball. A little bit of a pick play there.
Now they run another pick play here. And Rienstra Kirakov and Caceres read it perfectly. Rienstra Kirakov on the move, pitch downstairs. They'll go back, pick to third, and safe there is Caceres. Rienstra Kirakov advances. 9-2 the score, 2 out, a pair in scoring position.
Kirakov has kind of been that man at first in the corners.
Lined up the middle for a base hit. Caceres in, Rienstra Kirakov gets the wave around, and it's 11-2. Give Cam Seats a 2 RBI single. And Indy is in double digits yet again here in this RBI Central Regional Tournament.
So the only team to do it today in pool play is Indy, as they're able to get into that double digit, as well as making sure of it being a huge lead against Gary.
By the way, if Seats is able to come around and score, that would be the ball game. We're in the bottom of the 5th here. Hard hit ground ball left side. Pineda drops to a knee. Low throw to first. Picked out there by Sweezer. And that will end the inning. Indy tacks on 3 more. They lead it 11-2. We go to the 6th on WCSN 2. Back inside Curtis Granderson Stadium, 11-2 is the score in favor of Indy Nike RBI. This offense is rolling, James Blinken, and it doesn't look like they show any signs of stopping. And the pitching staff has been just as good.
Yeah, pitching staff has just been as good as lately, only giving up 2 runs to Gary, as well as that hitting. The hitting has just been so powerful these past 2 games that Indy has showcased to us.
2-0. Downstairs. It's 3 balls to no strikes.
The one difference that we saw versus with Indy against Gary versus Indy against Kansas City was that there were 2 different times where the long ball came into play in that game against Kansas City versus the long ball not really doing much within this game. Just still a lot of great contact though.
Pineda works the walk. By the way, another new pitcher in for Indianapolis, Micah Rienstra-Kirchhoff into the ball game to pitch.
So the home run derby turns into the pitcher. It will be or home run derby king, sorry. It turns into the pitcher. And this will be a very interesting aspect to see.
Yes, it will, as Angel De La Cerda will come on up as Pineda work the walk.
as kind of two different portraits to paint. With you being a pitcher and a hitter, of course, you still, of course, understand that strike zone, but in two different aspects of the game.
He can sling it, though. That's a really good fastball there for a strike. Line in the air, deep right center. Combs hangs up for him for the out.
The ball hanging up is just kind of like that phone call before, you know, just a good old hang up ball. You just grab it out there, and Combs is easily able to get that for that one out. You know, the king of dad jokes.
I don't know if that's a dad joke, though.
I think it's just cheesiness at this point.
I mean, it's game 4 of 4, so I mean, it's
something.
You know, there's only a couple of places where they do quadruple headers. And
Yeah,
one of them
yeah.
is the first 2 days of the NCAA tournament. So when you're looking at broadcasting,
Yeah.
particularly.
Lots of one-offs though, so I mean, lots of broadcasters on lots of road trips where they're doing game after game after game. So, I mean, lots of things get said.
Oh, for sure. 4 in a day, though, is tough.
Yeah.
But it's been a ton of fun, though.
Yeah, it's definitely a ton of fun being next to you and working aside you as well. It's really great first day in this tournament of 3.
Tomorrow's the final day of pool play, Championship Sunday, just around the corner. Indy looks to put themselves in great position by going to 2-0. And obviously anything can happen. All the 2-0 teams can then lose both their games tomorrow. And then you go with all the tiebreaks, with all the 2-2 teams. But realistically, you start 0-2, the path to get to Sunday becomes a near impossibility.
Yeah, and even if you lose that first game on Saturday tomorrow, you still have one more to come up with, and if you're 2-0, you just keep at it. I mean, hey, you lose one, you still have one more to go, of course. That's the thing with this. I mean, this Indy team, they went 2-2 last year.
Strike 3 called, and down goes Sweezer.
So they know what it's like being 2-2. That's not the expectation that they want this upcoming year. They want to make sure that they're at least 3-1 or undefeated, because they're working for getting into that regional championship.
Almas is downstairs. This is Angel Segura now up. There's only one 2-0 team currently in the field. That's the White Sox Nike RBI team. They're victorious today over the Cubs. That's on the ground, a short backhanded there. Long throw. Did he? Oh, he did. Great stretch by Jacobs at first. And that will end the inning. As Gooley with a great play there at shortstop to end it. So we're going to go bottom 6, 11-2. Bottom of the 6th. 11-2, Indianapolis on top. I'm Kevin. He's James. Thanks for being with us all day as we had baseball for breakfast. We took you through your lunch break, and now we're approaching your dinner tables as well. And if you're on the East Coast, we know you're at your dinner tables right now, so we thank you for watching if you're in Indianapolis or anywhere on the East Coast as Scott makes the catch for out number 1. Will Jacobs is retired. Got 4 more games on the docket tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. Central, 10 o'clock for our friends on the East Coast. It's going to be a fun one tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely a fun one tomorrow with pool play coming to an end tomorrow. We see a lot of open games as of now, as this one seems to be coming to an end.
To right field and foul. Ground Sweezer had it go in and out of his mitt. Boy, he was close. He was close, James.
Yeah, very close on that play. I mean, he almost had it. He's been having a little bit of a difficulty trying to catch those fly balls. That one a lot tougher than the one that he dropped earlier in this game. That one just over his shoulder, so close to catching it, but unfortunately doesn't meet eye to eye with his glove.
Flare down the left field line. That drops in fair territory. J.J. Combs with a 1-out single here in the bottom of the 6th.
Great contact by Combs right there. He's able to just have a little bit of a liner out to the left field over there.
So now, let's see who's going to be the hitter here. It was the pinch hitter Pine, and now it's going to be another pinch hitter here for Indianapolis. Cohen West into the ball game.
You know, you were talking about the East Coast earlier. Now you got a player with the name of West. So talking about a little bit.
Runner goes. Is anyone there? No one's home. And Combs steals second.
And Combs just says, "Excuse me, thank you, I'll take that," gracefully, as no one is home to cover the bag in time.
West flies that ball in a shallow left center field. It hangs up for Smith to Campbell underneath it to make the catch for the second out. Gary's just trying to get to a full 7, which they did earlier.
Yeah, and even though they had huge deficits and lost, they were able to get to that 7 against Kansas City. They're still hanging on in here against Indy as well, so we'll see how far this game goes. But, I mean, Indy just needs 1 run here, while Gary just needs to hold them off as much as possible.
Strike there to Carter Hunt, who, after taking off his at-bat in the 5th inning, working on a 1-for-2 showing with a single and a run scored.
Yeah, great single there with his RBI. Let's see how he capitalizes on that one.
Strike there, and it's 0-2. Runner on the move for third, and that's a hit by pitch.
Hit by pitch there. You know, the runner was going for it, but fortunately has to take himself all the way back to second base. One upside about it, now you got 2 runners on board. And we'll see what Indy's doing here.
So now Daniel Caceres comes on in to hit for the second time. He doubled in a run his last time up. Both runners on the move. That pitch is downstairs. Oh, he's safe! What a slide.
What an amazing swim move slide right there. He's able to just go on from second to third.
J.J. Combs. Wow.
He's just so calm on that base path, you know. He's just swimming around, able to just glide on through. I'm sure the turf helped out as well.
Yeah, probably. Here's the 1-0, but before that, they'll check you on the runner. Combs at third, West on first. The question is, who's on second? There's my dad joke for the day. There's my dad joke for the day.
I don't know, maybe a ghost runner?
Is it football? Runner goes for second, that's a strike. And he throws it to second base. And I don't think Scott was ready for that baseball at all.
No, I don't think Scott was really ready for that baseball. I know as a catcher, you're not really looking to that shortstop in that scenario, especially here, because if he throws it to short or goes away, that's the ball game. Man on third.
Caceres hits hard on the ground at third. Ford comes home with it. They have the runner and Calms caught on a rundown. De La Sera back to Ford. Calms able to escape it. Segura gets in on the action. Calms tries to slide around that one. And the tag is applied there at short by Pineda at third, and that will end the inning. 11-2. Indy 3 outs away from a 2-0 start in this Central Regional Tournament. We're in the top of the seventh, and we got a pinch hitter, or some defensive changes. DJ Mendez to pitch in Here for Indy Nike RBI. Calm slides to third. Caceres goes out to right. Rensha Kirikov back out to his position in center. Zane Scott leads things off. 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch in the 0-1 pitch home. Curveball just missed downstairs. 11-2. Indy is 3 outs away from a victory here and concluding day 1 of the Central Regional Tournament. MLB Nike RBI program. Lined and just foul off of first.
Yeah, Mendez looks to close this one out. A very clean slate from him, hopefully, in this last inning of play.
I'm going to surprise you here with some information. This is not a save situation.
Not a save. Sorry about that. More so of a close situation.
Oh no, it wasn't a shot towards you. I was just being funny based off the score of 11-2. Yeah. It wasn't based off of your comment at all.
You're good. Caught me a little off guard. I was like, wait, did I say something wrong?
No, you said nothing wrong. Everything you said was factually correct. It's 3-2. And Scott pops this one up a mile high. Gooley has it for the out as Seats decide to come have a slip and slide on the edge of the infield out there from left.
A little bit of a celebratory victory slide, I'd say, prematurely, as there's 1 out, 2 more to go for Indy to close them out here.
Darian Wiggins is the hitter.
And in the second game, it's just the same as what we saw in that first game from Indy. It's a lot of hits. Pitching has been really a strong suit from them these past 2 games, only giving up 2 in this game against Gary.
Good cut there, and it's 0-2. Indy back at it again. First game tomorrow morning as that's lifted in the air to left. Seats underneath it, 2 gone.
Seats for that one doesn't need to slide at all. He just stands up there very stiffly.
They got the 9 a.m. Central Time game tomorrow against Milwaukee. That should be a good one. Milwaukee's 1-1. They're fighting for their tournament lives as the pinch hitter gets hit square in the back. That was Josiah Artest who just got drilled.
Yeah, Artest drilled with the first pitch. Looked like it was trying to cut more so inwards, but DJ unable to command that baseball. It's Gary's player right square in the back. Now we have 1 on.
Randall Smith takes strike 1. 2 away. Top of the 7th inning. The 0-1. Lays off of it. It's 1-1. He's been the most effective hitter of the day. Smith has reached base in every plate appearance in this contest. 2 singles. One of them came with an RBI and a walk.
Yeah, Smith has been a really great piece of Gary's hitting so far this tournament. I mean, especially this game, he's been that one piece that's definitely stood out today.
2 balls, 1 strike is the count. And that one is in the dirt. Mendoza has trouble finding it, and Artest advances the second. And the wild pitch.
Mendez seems a little bit jittery, of course, it being the last batter that he could face, with it already being 2 outs.
And he walks Smith. Not the worst decision in the world given Smith's success at the plate today.
Yeah, not a bad decision at all. I mean, he's 2 for 2 at the plate. Of course, I mean, if he hits it, you're able to possibly score there with a man already in second base. So, not a terrible decision there. Start off here with a clean slate.
Off the plate there, RVA Ford still in there. 0 for 2 RBI walk all the way back in the first. Cut on and miss.
Ford tries to power through, but swings a little bit early and is able to just come up with the strike there.
Mendez a long hold in the 1-1. Popped up right side, and they're down to their final strike. As that one lands out of play. Gary tomorrow plays the White Sox. As that one nearly hits them at 11:30 a.m. That's going to be a tough game for this Gary team, given the Sox what they've done. 2-0 today for day one.
Yeah, it will definitely be a tough game for Gary to come back from as they look to be 0-2.
And there's the force out as Combs will take it himself to the bag, and that's the ball game. Indianapolis Nike RBI goes to 2-0 with 2 dominating victories. Combined score of 23-2.
Yeah, an amazing score of 23-2 combined score between with those 2 games, and Indy just puts on a huge display of hitting for their first day of pool play. For Gary, it's time to kind of hit the showers and look forward to the next day and see what you can do from there. I mean, going 0-2, you're just looking at it and hoping to go 2-2 as that's the best outcome you can look forward to.
So Indy Nike RBI, they're 2-0 through day one. Only one other 2-0 team besides them, that being White Sox Nike RBI. And for Indianapolis, they don't get the White Sox at all in pool play. So the only possible meeting we could see those 2 teams will be in a title game, but we're getting way too in front of ourselves. Full day of action, and Saturday, especially Saturday afternoon, is when the chaos really begins. It's going to be a ton of fun tomorrow. Partner, it's been a fun 4 games with you as we get set to wrap up night 1 of pool play and day 2 overall at this 2024 MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament. For my partner, James Winkin, I've been Kevin Malater, saying so long from Curtis Granderson Stadium. All day long, you've been watching the 2024 MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament on WCSN2.